Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some new Kizer knives to show you. So they are doing it a little differently now. They're doing like multiple releases a month, and I guess they're sending them in separate packages. Anyway, so I think I'm a couple days behind. These released on the 3rd. So they are available now. This one is the Tomb. This seems to be the one that everyone's talking about. I did open, they're sending them differently now. They're putting them in, like they're not putting them in the boxes because they're trying to be more eco-friendly or something. So it makes it more difficult for me because I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I did open them just to get an idea of the knife. So I didn't show one that I shouldn't show or whatever. So let me bring that up a little bit there. So this is the Tomb. And the 2 seconds that I looked at it, I actually thought it was pretty damn cool. Obviously not going to be the most ergonomic knife, etc. But it has a cool concept because it looks like a tomb, right? It looks like a coffin, basically, not a tomb. But it looks like a coffin. It is a button lock. It looks to be a traditional plunge lock style, not the compression style. But when you flip it out, you get a drop point blade. Might have been cool if it was like a warnie or like a sheep's foot, something to match the handle a little bit. But it is interesting. And you do actually have sort of a choil built in here because the coffin kind of comes down up here and then you can choke up on it. Now, like I said, it's not super ergonomic. It's not like brutal or anything. It's not uncomfortable. It's just a different shape. You know what I mean? It doesn't have any harsh feel to it. Like nothing's poking me. It just feels, I guess, slightly awkward, like big, wide, I guess. Hard to explain. You have gold accents, black aluminum. And again, it is a button lock, so you have no liner or anything, no liner lock or anything like that. I don't know if you heard that button stick, but it's actually pretty bad, not gonna lie. Let's see if there's anything like oil on here or something that I can clean off. While we're here, let me show you probably the coolest mini Q-tips I've found on Amazon. So they're dirt cheap, but you can get them in all different colors, and they actually come in different sizes. This is the regular 2.5 millimeter, and then they have like a mini, I think. I don't know if they have an even bigger one, but they come in these little cylinders, and you get like 4 of these or something. Or maybe it was 5, so you get 500 probably. And I mean, what was it, 10, 12 bucks, something like that, nothing crazy. And that'll last you a long time, unless you're me, apparently. But it has this little rotation thing down here, so you just turn it to line it up with the hole, and then give it a little shake, and you can pull one out and close it. Now, I have a little holder, but you know, to fill that up, it makes it real easy. I think for most people, this is perfect. You could just set this down on a table or something, and then when you need it, you can pop one out. But they're actually pretty cool. The reason I got them, other than that cool container, is just to see the difference between the tips on these compared to the ones I usually get, which usually they are like different, they're different brands and shit on Amazon, but they're basically always the same thing. They're just, you know, I tried to get different colors this time. I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to have fun with it. But they look very similar to me. So I don't know if the micro ones have a smaller tip or if they're just shorter, if that's what they mean by micro. Looks like you can kind of break this off to make it shorter if you want. I don't know. I just thought they were interesting. And I guess, I don't know if you could flex this a little bit or if that's just there for grip or something. But anyway, interesting little piece of disassembly, reassembly tools. Oh yeah, I was gonna use one. that's where we were going with this. Clean in here, see what we get. Not much. I don't think there's like oil on anything. I mean, perhaps it needs oil. That button is like right in the center, so it's a little bit harder to get to. There was some gunk on there. So it's possible this is just some schmutz in there that needs to come out, and then it'll break in. Oh, well, let's see. If I hammer it out, then you get the click back. You see that a lot on button locks. If you open them slow, you get no, like, very light button stick. And then when you give it a nice whack out, it will feel a little bit stickier. And that makes sense because, you know, you're jamming that mechanism in there. If you whip that up, it's going to make the mechanism pop in deeper or further, if that makes sense. Whereas if you're doing it slow, it's just going to kind of fall into place. And if you hold the button and open it, that's when you get the least button stick, because you're literally depressing it and then easing it into place, right? So there's no rock, no play or anything. It does feel a little better already, but there you go again. So it could break in, but definitely some stick. I think I heard from somebody else that they had a lot of stick as well. So seems like it might be a thing with this specific model. So just be wary of that, I would like to say. The blade is interesting. You can see they have a sharpening choil here. Plunge grind comes down to here, so that's probably why they added that. Looks a little goofy, but it is cool. It says Tomb Nitro V, and then it looks like it has a designer logo there. Let me see if I can get that information for you. They sent me a little spec sheet here. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 versions of the Tomb. You have a Pay or Ultim with black, and then black hardware. You have this version, aluminum. You have what looks to be a Geemascus, blue Geemascus with black hardware and uncoated blade. And then you have, man, I don't know if that's burlap or wood. Maybe wood. It makes sense, right? Because coffin, you know, making it out of wood would make sense. And then black, and then it has gold accents as well. So that's interesting. Looks like there was also another drop bear released. I don't think they sent me that one. Let's see if I can get you any other information. Mini Momo, we know about that one. I think they have a new version coming or something. All right, the Tomb was designed by Bradley Diaz. Bradley Diaz is a skilled and passionate knife maker with over 7 years of experience in handcrafting knives, focusing primarily on kitchen knives. His dedication to precision and craftsmanship has been the cornerstone of his work. Recently, Diaz's creative journey led him to explore the dynamic world of EDC and pocket knives, where his attention to detail and innovative designs continue to evolve. So here you go. These are the versions. You can see them here. Again, I think that's what, yeah, McCurdy wood, McCurdy, whatever that's called. I've seen that on Concept or Civivis before. And then we're looking at Nitro V, and $69.95 is the map pricing, 60 to 62 HRC. So hopefully that gives you some information there. It has their machine satin on it and some jimping on the spine. It's not bad. I mean, is it the greatest knife ever? No, but it's a cool, unique design. I got to give them that, right? If you wanted something unique, or maybe you have, you know, you're one of those people who likes the skull theme, you know, you're one of those brass and micarta and cigar smoking, whiskey drinking guys, and you got like a little skull and pirate shit everywhere. You know, this might be cool for your Instagram photos or something. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, it's interesting. It does seem like that button stick is wearing in. The more I flick it, the softer it's getting. Still sticky, but it's not anything that's not manageable. That's for sure. It's easy to push. So, yeah, interesting model here. That's the Tomb. Let's move on. I have a fixed blade. This one's called the Little Rhino, and you can kind of see why. It has a rhino-y look to it. Came with this here sheath. Let's see if we can get it in and out. That was pretty tight going in, but we don't have any movement there. And it does come out. So shout out to Kizer for getting that right. You have your tech locky thing that you see on every fixed blade. So that's the sheath. I am interested in this handle material. I don't know what that is. It looks like a G10. So it's some kind of combo G10. And then it has these really cool raised areas to the handle. And because of the G10 choice, it actually looks really cool. You have a hole back here. So I got to figure out how to hold it. I think that's how you're supposed to hold it, like that. And that does feel pretty good. My pinky obviously feels disconnected a little bit, but feels good. You have a soft corner here, so they didn't sharpen this edge, which is nice. You can get right behind that. You have a little swoop here, a little poon spoon, as I would call it. You can get in there and get your thumb on that jimping, but I'm mostly right back here. And I guess that poon spoon is there. If you're going to try to do some utility cutting, you could come up here. And it's got sort of a kitchen-y, cleavery vibe to it. You can see the maker's mark right there. And let's see if it's supposed to be self-defense at all. No, that doesn't make sense. This way? Yeah, that feels pretty good, actually. So you can hold it like this. I'm outside of that choil area. My fingers all kind of rest together well. I like how they designed this hole here, the finger hole, I guess. Sorry, that's what she said. The finger hole has a little choil almost, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't know if you tried to hold it without using the ring. Yeah, you could. You could. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't call it a ring. I decided to call it a finger hole. But hey, it has jimping all around it too, which is nice. Well, not all the way, which is nice. It actually gives you a nice little grip there to hang on to, which is pretty unique. It has a hole in the blade, which obviously, you're not going to use. Can't flick this or anything. But yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not a fixed blade guy, but I know a lot of you are turning towards fixed blades more and more. So we're going to keep seeing them. But that is the Little Rhino. I'm going to get you the info on that bad boy now. So I saw, here we go. This one was designed by, I'm going to butcher this, Kapuscinski Giedemann. Kapuscinski Giedemann. He's from Poland, and he holds a master's degree in chemical technology and a marine mechanics engineering degree. Passionate about outdoor activities, knives have been his constant companions. Around 20 years ago, he crafted his first knife using simple tools. 13 years ago, he turned his hobby into a near full-time pursuit. Specializing in large knives like camp knives, choppers, bowies, and short swords, he embraces variety and rarely repeats designs. His work blends ruggedness with elegant lines, favoring tough, durable materials such as carbon steel, spring steel, and G10. His goal is to create high-quality, unique knives that are both functional and works of art. Cool. Here's the Rhino, $55.95 starting, looks like, and goes up to $59.95. There are Amazon exclusives. I will put links down below to these knives, whether it's through Kizer, whether it's through Amazon. I will put links if you guys want to use those. It does help the channel, but totally your call. Now, let's see. What are we calling this? We're calling it Olive and Black. So olive, green, and black micarta. I've never seen it combined like that. It's also a burlap micarta, and the burlap micarta is AEBL. The olive green is AEBL, and then the ones with the black wash coatings are D2. So that's cool that they're using a different steel for once. Usually every fixed blade they do is D2. unless it's like a limited run of something. But that's pretty cool to see some AEBL. I guess they went with the uncoated ones for that. They were maybe worried about rusting on the D2 versions. 60 to 62 they're listing. It's a little interesting here. They have 58 to 60, and then they have 60 to 62. So I don't know which one is 58 to 60 and which one is 60 to 62, because you have D2 AEBL, then you have D2 AEBL. I'm guessing it's, AEBL is 58 to 60 and D2 is 60 to 62, or vice versa. You have rhino skin textured handles, jimping finger ring, tactical outdoor companion, perfect for Amazon listings. Yeah, that is the Little Rhino, folks. And we have one more. Let me get a sip of my coffee here. Oh yeah, that's good. Nespresso is where it's at. This one's called the Bamboo. Some interesting names: the Tomb, the Little Rhino, and the Bamboo. And the Bamboo here looks to have a Lush style flipper tab. Similar. It's actually different. Comes out the back a little more. You know what it reminds me of, actually? The Brown Knives Cortex V2. The original Cortex, not the newer version, which I think is called the XL. But the V2 had this tab that came off. It came a little further back, and it really felt like you were just hitting a flipper tab. It was like you had a flipper tab. It was just on top of the knife. And it really allows you to fire the shit out of this. I mean, you can see that. You could probably come up top. Yeah, it's not as intuitive as this one, but it does work. You have to kind of come over the top a little more. You're not going to want to go to, ow, that hurt, and I got stabbed. Cool. So whatever I did there, it turned the knife. I did this, and I guess it slid and turned, and the blade came out a little bit, and it's sharp. So it's got a nice point there, so it poked me. That's happened before. So yeah, I'm not going to front flip this knife. It does have a reversible clip, I think. Looks reversible, right? We should test that. This one is not, by the way. The Tomb is not reversible. Let's go ahead and test that out. We have T8s on this side, and what do we have? T6s on that side. All I really need to do is grab a T6 and remove this. Then we can see if there's a cutout under there. If there's a cutout, then we know it's not going to be reversible, at least not well. So it has some holes. I think it's reversible, guys. I feel like I was at the doctor and I got a shot, but it was in my palm. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Looks like we're going to pull this off, but maybe not. I don't know. It's very tight. I don't want to be cross-threading here. If the screw is actually, it feels like it went in there fine. See how that's a little fat screw? Let me see what this one looks like. Not sure. Let's see how this does. I think it's gonna work, but just felt a little bit weird there. Yeah, it's threading just fine. I was a little worried I was cross-threading. What the heck is happening here? Okay. We good? There we go, buddy. Yeah, we are reversed. So definitely possible to do that. I guess I'll just leave it for now. I'm going to put it back because I always pass these around. And, you know, not many people are left-handed. So I do like the flipper tab for the reach around move. It's very nice. It has that great flipper tab for like a standard flip. This is a little bit tougher, and as I showed you, could be dangerous. So I probably wouldn't even do that much. You might be able to do a rollback. Yep, you can roll it back. You're basically just, you know, hitting the flipper tab. The detent feels good. Like it comes out of there nicely. You can see it snap, but it doesn't feel strong either. Like it doesn't feel obnoxious, if that makes sense. It's very well dialed is, I guess, the way I would like to put that. Really cool. It is called the bamboo, so I guess this pattern here is bamboo-y. Hopefully they have a bamboo wood version or some kind of wood version, because that would be cool. Pretty, you know, other than that, it's a pretty standard, you know, little thin front flipper. We've seen a lot of these, but it's pretty good. Ergos, excuse me, are fine. You have a thin drop point blade. Spear point, I'll call it a drop point. It's got almost a little bit of a quaking to it, but I don't think so. Cool knife. You know, not going to be the best for utility cutting, but you can get to that tip pretty easy. Liner lock works really well. You could definitely do the thumb if you're not, you know, mentally challenged like I am. Very easy to flip there. Milling on the inside, keep the weight down, and then these are obviously G10 handles. Let's see what information we can get on the designer on this guy. Excuse me. Bamboo. So, the designer is Maxim Epiphantsevas. Man, I am so sorry. No, wait. Here it says Epiphansev. That makes more sense, but they spelled it different here. He's been fascinated by knives since childhood, often researching and attempting to make his own. He started with basic folding knives and had little knowledge of modern knife locks or well-known brands. As an adult, he worked as a graphic designer and later transitioned to freelancing, which allowed him to explore his growing interest in knives and begin collecting them. During an online competition, he drew his ideal knife, which sparked his passion for knife design. He submitted his sketches to Kizer's R&D department and received positive feedback, further motivating him to pursue knife design. Today, designing knives has become his primary hobby, and he enjoys creating a variety of designs. Looks like he has another one down the list, but I don't think it's out yet, so stay tuned for more from Maxim. And apologies for butchering the names on all of these. But here you go. You have four versions. No, three. G10 yellow, G10 olive green, and micarta. Yeah, there's no wood. Interesting. Nitro V, it is a liner lock, and it's about 60 bones, 60 to 61 HRC. Here are the details. Zen-like EDC option, front flipper, deep carry, reversible. Could have just read that. Raised lock bar for easier closing. Okay. Raised lock bar for easier closing. Oh, I see. Yeah, the tab comes out of the handle a little bit. That's true. I like that. Good design. So that's the bamboo. So there you go, guys. Those are the three knives that I know I can show for the release a couple days ago. Let me know which one is your favorite. I would say out of the three, I am most intrigued by the Tomb. I would not say that any of them are like my style, like perfect for me necessarily, that I would run out and want to buy them. But I think this one's going to do well just because of the unique and different aspect of it. I see that happening, and you know, I think for Halloween, they can do a really cool tomb version, right? So they can do some cool stuff with it as well. And it is cool. You know, I know a lot of people are going to say it's impractical and all that goodness, but it's cool. One thing I want to note is I'm looking in here and the liner, the milling in there is interesting. I don't know if it's a skeleton. I don't know if it's supposed to look like a skeleton in there. You guys see that? Almost looks like a rib cage right here. And then like a pelvic area. Here's like a spine area. And then you have the legs. I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I just making shit up? Or are they messing with us? Huh. Looks like something's going on in there. Very cool. I just think it's an interesting concept. So that would be the one for me. I also like the feel of their aluminum. Hard anodized aluminum is just nice. I like it better than G10. So that's something as well. I don't know if I mentioned the front flip on this. It's pretty good. Because of the handle design, it gets in the way a little bit from letting you really, rep on it. But you can get it pretty easily. Just kind of put your, finger over your thumb over the top and rip it. You can reach around the knife as well. I'm sure you can. Yep, you can roll back it too, which is cool. So there you go. The tomb, the little rhino, and the bamboo. Love to hear your comments down below. And again, links will be down there if you guys want to pick any of these up. And I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.